Welcome to Backstage, small church, big vision. If you're a small church leader that wants to have big impact, this podcast is for you, so subscribe.
This week's topic is how to motivate volunteers. So let's get into it. Hey, Backstage leaders, I'm Kevin Gollihue.
I'm Andrew Gravagna, and this week we're going to be talking about motivating volunteers. But before we get into that, we're going to go right into lose, learn, win. All right, this week I want to start off with my loss, catching them L's. But I've been having so much trouble with ProPresenter, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm there every week. I'm trying to do it, but I mean, on this week is Sunday. We went over it. We went over the songs. We did the run through. Everything goes good.
Yeah.
But then we go to the service, and all of a sudden, the projector screen behind us wants to go out, and then the front screens were going to lower thirds.
Oh, that's weird.
And I'm like, what's going on?
So the screens that, so not the big ones, the two small
The
ones?
big one went off, and then because this is what we do, because we have a bumper video right after our first song and right before the second song, and so yeah, that video, it's introducing, waving at people, the whole thing. It's a really good video, but it has a different look on ProPresenter, and we were doing a new song. I didn't realize that the looks changed on the bumper video.
Oh.
We have a separate look for the bumper. It's called transition, and so and I didn't know because, and it happened both services because they were telling me, oh, it went little, it went out. And I'm like, maybe the connection failed. They said it happened in every song, so I'm like, okay. But it didn't happen every song. It just happened after the second song. I would have thought of that, but it was a loss. Nobody could. We're saying, sing it with me, and everyone's like,
what's the words? Tell me the words.
So that's always a no. That's always good.
Oh man, that's a shame.
Yeah.
So I got a couple wins. Win number one is we had 4 new college students at the church, which is great. College students, the age group of 18 to 25 is typically where churches struggle to connect
Absolutely.
people. We've been actually thriving in that role as a church, and that's great.
God bless you.
That's actually one of our only areas of like growth that we can measure is we start off our young adults. We start off with I think maybe 10, and now we've added a few more, and we're at 13, 14. And if they were to come, that'd be 18. So we're getting some solid, measurable growth, which is nice from the young adults. So that's always good. And from what I was told, because I had to be with Bridge Kids, of course, because I lead the children's ministry. So I didn't have the opportunity to actually connect with them as their pastor. But I got word that other people did, which is also a win that, like we talked about in the assimilation episode, that you have to partner with your congregation. So
Prime example.
Yeah, that's a great example of how other people, even though I wasn't there, it wasn't on the pastor, other people connected with with them. So that was great. My other win is this. This week was our first week of having Bridge Kids indoors. Usually we have it outdoors so that parents can feel a little bit, more comfortable with the whole COVID situation outside. We still had masks on so that they can, be a little bit closer. We did take our precautions, of course. But going indoors changes it up a little bit. So I think that, you have to make the call that morning. And so I think for making the call that morning and rearranging how we did stuff from outside to inside, it was a perfect flow. No, we didn't skip a beat. So that was really good. So yeah, those were some wins, and I'm really proud of them.
Good win.
Yeah,
some good wins.
Some solid wins for sure. But before we go into our topic of how to motivate volunteers, if you are a audio listener, make sure you subscribe to whatever, Spotify, Apple, Google, whatever you're listening on. Make sure you subscribe to that. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and also hit that bell so you can get all notifications. And lastly, make sure to subscribe to all social media platforms that we are on so that you can stay up to date with all news that we do. So let's get into the topic.
Motivating volunteers. I know this is one of the hardest things to do.
Yep.
You can get volunteers, but how do you get your volunteers to actually care about what they're doing and care and really owning their role in their
Yeah.
ministry, right?
Yeah.
Motivating volunteers. I don't want to say it like last week. I know you started off. There is only so much you can control.
Yep.
Especially us as pastors and those of you that are leaders and pastors in your churches, we can do a horrible job putting too much on our plate. And
Yeah.
how can I force this person to care?
And you can't.
And it's impossible,
Yeah.
right? God didn't control us. God didn't force Adam and Eve to make a good decision. So if he can't, we can't also.
They gotta meet you somewhere. If it's 50-50, if it's 70-30, if it's 99-1, like, they gotta meet you somewhere. They really do.
They gotta meet you somewhere. And so, but the good thing is that we can control what we can do.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're going to be talking about. And so go into our first point
Yep.
of how to motivate our volunteers. Number 1, relationship is priority. Okay, so relationship is priority. We as leaders, we get so caught up in trying to get the best leader and the best volunteer, and most likely, we're not going to get the best at first, right? And we have to deal with the bearing with them and growing them and
Yep.
training them, right? But I think what we need to focus on so much is that relationship with the person. And I don't just need you just to get something done, but I actually care about you. And I want you to get involved so that you can be planted in a church, right? I don't just need a bass player or a singer or somebody, saying hello to people. I want somebody to build a relationship with. And that's what God prioritizes. If God prioritizes that in our lives and in our lives, then we have to do that in the church.
That's good. That's good.
And so that brings me to a second point: lead by example.
So point number 2, lead by example. This one is very important. The reason why I relate very, very much so to this, because one of the first people I ever sat under was really boring. As an associate pastor, as a youth pastor, all you leaders out there, if you are sitting in the pew, chair, whatever, and your pastor, he or she's preaching, and they let's open up our Bible today, and then they get their bottle of water and into the mic, just like I just did, and they're like, all right, today we're gonna, like, nah, I don't want to follow that leader. That leader did not motivate me.
No.
You have to, if you're a next gen pastor like me, or a youth pastor, worship leader pastor, whatever, go into your ministry super excited. For example, if I'm the kids pastor, I'm going to go in every Sunday morning. Let's do this. I'm so excited. We have the opportunity to change the life of an elementary school kid or a preschool kid. We have the opportunity to raise up the next generation. This is a great opportunity. So let's pray, let's get into it, and let's just change these kids' lives. If you go into it like that, you're gonna motivate people. You're just gonna exert that energy, right? You're just gonna exert that energy. People are gonna follow someone who's willing to stand up, who's willing to prophesy into things. You're gonna have somebody. If your lead pastor is up on stage saying there is a spirit of healing in this room, and God's telling me there's someone who needs it right now, either emotional, physical, spirit. You want to follow that guy, that girl. You want to follow that, and that needs to be you. Lead by example. Be excited about what you're doing, because what you're doing is eternal. What you are doing is important. You see, hopefully I'm motivating you right now.
Yeah, that guy has a relationship and not just following a religion. And that's what we are so passionate about is, this is a relationship with God. This is something I'm so passionate about, is that God actually chose us to lead. God actually chose us to give his vision and mission down into our spirit to give it to these people. And so let's use that. It's so important. Make sure you're reading you're reading the Bible and praying and you're filled up and you actually care. People will know if you care or not.
Yeah.
And so it may think, don't fake it too.
Yeah, don't fake it.
If you're gonna fake anything, don't fake ministry, because it's gonna go nowhere.
Honestly, there are some people who can fake ministry, and they can do well in ministry. But here's the thing: everything comes to light eventually. Yeah. If you are unhealthy, your unhealthiness is going to show. It may not be today, may not be tomorrow, but it could be the day after that. get right with God as well, because you can't lead by example. If you want to lead people who want to impact people's lives, you have to be someone who has been impacted.
Right.
So that leads us into our third point, which is eternal impact.
All right, so eternal impact. We're not just doing something that's temporal or that's just for right now, but it's for eternity, right? We're
Yeah.
changing. We're bringing people into the family of God forever. And so we need to remind people of the mission and vision of our ministry.
Yep.
It's got to be right. That's going to be to your advantage, especially if you are called to do it. You have something that's more than just yourself, but God's with you, right? It's eternity, and so use that to your advantage. Your mission and vision. Remind your people of that, and so that they're motivated, and so that they understand that they have value in this church. Right, we're not the only ones that should be doing everything.
Yeah. Here's a little tip. Honestly, if you want to talk about vision and mission and using that to motivate people, have your vision and your mission be very snappy, like
Right.
one sentence. You know
Yes.
why? So that from the pulpit in front of all of your leaders, you can say, our vision is to impact the world for God. Make Jesus famous. Turn it into something, because you'll be able to use it day in, day out, remind them, because that will motivate them.
Right. And it's so important, right? And that brings us to our next point. Give your volunteers goals.
Give your volunteers goals. Very important. You want them to have basically something set out for them to achieve, because they're just going to be running around with their heads cut off, sort of thing. If you don't really, if you don't know what you're doing, you're not going to be able to do it.
Yes.
Right? If you can't explain why you're successful, you're never going to be successful again. And that one way to do it is by having goals. People want stuff to work towards. That's just who we are. We want to achieve stuff. Maybe not everybody, but for the most part, give them goals, because once they've achieved it, they're going to feel motivated.
Right.
Right? But honestly, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this. It's called SMART goals. I'll talk about it real quick. SMART is S is specific, M is measurable, A is attainable, R is relevant, and T is time-based. Very important. There's a lot of different ways you can set out goals and stuff, but this is one way that I've always personally connected with, because specific, right? From the very beginning. S, specific. Don't just give them a general thing to achieve. Don't just say, we want growth. Don't say that. Say something very specific. We want X in this amount of time. We want something very specific. Don't be ambiguous. M, we have measurable. Don't say, let's go impact the world. That's not measurable. Give them something. Say, within a month, let's try to grow in this area. Let's try to see if we can see people growing in Christ in a month. Something that's measurable.
Right.
A is attainable. This one's very important. Lead pastors in my past have done this to me, where they'll give me a goal and it's not attainable. And when you don't succeed, you feel terrible. You don't want your volunteers feeling like that.
No.
You need attainable goals. Don't say, we're going to grow by 150 in youth ministry when your congregation is only 30. Have attainable goals. R is relevant. If you are a modern contemporary church, don't talk about bringing back hymns, right? Stay relevant right now.
Please stay
If you are a youth pastor, don't tell your kids ministry volunteers goals about youth ministry. They don't need to hear, because it's not relevant to them. It needs to be relevant. And T, time-based. Don't say we need to grow by 15 people in this ministry. Say we need to grow by 15 people in 3 months. Let's figure out how to do it. Let's explore ways to do it. So if you follow SMART, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, time-based, you're going to have some solid goals that can impact your church, your ministry, and they can also motivate your leaders. But honestly, this is what I've done in the past. You don't have to do it. I don't know if you've done it, but give them a serious goal and then give them a funny goal, right?
Yeah.
A funny goal, like for my youth volunteers, I've done
How many high fives can you get in one
yes,
service?
stuff like that, like how many, or like how many secret handshakes can you make
whatever.
with the teens, or
Yeah, that's
whatever. Have something funny, because the funny one is gonna motivate them maybe a little bit more in the moment than the serious one,
Right.
and you need that little bit of motivation to get the serious one done.
Yeah.
But yeah, so honestly, give your volunteers goals.
Yeah, and it will help them make it feel like they're valuable, like they actually are making an impact, and that you care about what they're doing, and then not just in the background, right? They're actually valuable, and these goals can help them with that. I love that SMART goal.
Yeah.
That's definitely I want to add into
SMART
my
goal,
ministry.
look it up. It's good. It's really good. But that actually brings us to my favorite part of the week. Question of the week.
Yes. Question of the week: what unlimited gift card would you rather have? A limited card to your favorite clothing store, or a limited card to your favorite restaurant?
Restaurant. I spend a lot of money at restaurants. Plus, I
do
could take
too.
people out to eat, and I can look like the big dog. Like, no, I got it.
Yo,
I got it.
That's true.
Yeah, I got it this time. Oh, no, it's $150. It's $1,000. Don't worry, you're that special to me, right? I actually like.
But you always have to go to that spot, though. That's
Let's
true,
always
right?
go back to Chick-fil-A. I got it. I got
Would
it.
it really be Chick-fil-A? Yeah.
No,
What's the
it
restaurant?
wouldn't be. I don't know what it would be.
Nah, pick one right now.
Oh, okay.
Uno, dos, tres.
Oh no.
You failed.
Avo Taco. It's a place in New Hyde Park, New York, and really banging tacos. I would go there. They also have quesadillas and ice cream.
That's far. I like New Hyde
Salsa.
Park pizza. Have you had that?
No,
That's good. Okay, so my explanation: I would rather have the card to the store,
Okay.
clothing store,
Yeah.
because, I just like I look fly whenever I want for the rest of my life.
Styles
And
change.
also
They are
they
updated. I get it.
updated, they change. You could be relevant. I'm a pastor. I'm a youth pastor. I can't be called boomer. I can't be caught with
called boomer.
Walmart shoes. Nah, I gotta
Man,
get
I
that
rock
gift
them
card.
Walmart shoes.
I gotta get gift card to StockX. Oh, I'm sorry. To StockX. To
Yeah.
StockX. StockX. I can be getting that Supreme. I can be
Nice.
getting that Yeezy. I can be getting them Jordans. I can get. Wait, here's my question. Can I resell?
I mean, you can do whatever you want.
I could buy whatever I want. I just resell it.
I understand.
I would be rich.
You're so right. Listen, let us know down below in the comments. Would you rather unlimited gift card to your favorite clothing store or your favorite restaurant? Also, please, if you're watching us on YouTube, subscribe to us.
Subscribe.
Hit the bell so you get all notifications of our videos. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We'll be sending out a whole bunch of stuff for you to keep updated. Also, if you're an audio listener, please subscribe to wherever you are listening right now. But until then, I don't know, but we're out.